welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Rye and this is Rye's Reading Corner. Today I am going to go through all the books that I need to finish by the end of 2020. Okay, so I cannot believe it's already August and 2020 is going to be ending soon. So I want to do a video to share with everyone what books that I need to finish by the end of 2020. So for this video, I'm only doing the books that have been published up until this point and that I have on my TBR. There's only one book that I don't have currently on like my TBR cart or like on my bookshelves. Other than that, I'm going to do a separate video for releases that are going to be later in the year that I would like to potentially get done before the end of the actual year. So these books range from books that have been published this year or that are published, maybe last year or a couple years prior, but they are new to me. So my goal in this video is hopefully all of you could help me prioritize these books. Tell me which ones should I definitely stick with or which ones do I need to just say, nope, don't waste your time reading this year. So the first book is something I think that I was definitely late to the game to, and this is Beartown by Frederick Backman. I think I haven't read this book yet because I know that hockey is not the central point and there's a lot more things to it, but I'm just not a hockey person at all. But I've heard that people who love this book don't necessarily like hockey. So I do just need to just read this book and get it over with because I think it's such a great book from what I've heard. I've never read anything by him before, so this will be my first book by him. I honestly don't know too much about it besides that there is a hockey team, but I know that there's some other really big, tough life issues in this book as well, which is what more of will interest me to this book. All right, the next book is a sequel, which I've not heard great things about, but I've loved the first book, and that is Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Nguyen. I've heard that this book definitely does not live up to the first book, which makes me really sad because I loved how it ended. I honestly don't know what this particular book is about, but if you think that I should not prioritize this to get done by the end of 2020, please let me know and then I won't waste my time on it and then I'll just get to it when I get to it. All right, the next book is one that I've been wanting to read for so long. I definitely am late to the game on this one, and this is Red, White, and Royal Blue. So this is a gay romance, which I'm all for, and it is about these two men on our cover. One is the president's son, and the other one is, I believe, it has to do with somewhere, I think in England, I believe. And they're seen with having like an altercation and their families tried to mend this and told them kind of they have to be friends. But obviously that turns into something else. It turns into a romance. And I've heard absolutely amazing things about this book that once people start it, they can't finish it. So I just need to read this book. So the next book is Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angles. This is my Owl Crate copy. It's absolutely gorgeous. You'll see a pattern in this that I don't know what many of these books are about, which is probably not the greatest reason, to buy books. I should probably know more. But I've heard people absolutely love this book. I've seen great things on. I honestly haven't seen anything where people are saying that they don't like this book, which is a good sign, obviously. But I am excited to read this one. I was supposed to read it last month, but I ended up subbing it out for a book just because I just kind of wasn't feeling it. But I really would like to get it done this year, especially since it is a 2020 release. So the next one is an author that I have fell in love with, but I'm super intimidated to start this book because it's so long. And this is A Middle Game by Shani McGuire. So I know this is about two twins and it has to do with, I think technology maybe. I honestly don't know. I am so bad at knowing what books are about. I read the Wayward Children series last month and I read all 5 of them. I absolutely love them. I want to get this one done because I know that she just released that she's going to be writing a sequel to this book. And I need to read this. It is a chunker, so if someone would like to buddy read this with me, let me know and we can hold each other accountable to make sure we finish this book. All right, the next one is a shorter book, which is nice, and that is Girl, Serpent, Thorn by Melissa Bash Strauss. So this is about a girl who is cursed. I believe when she touches someone, she like kills them. And she has to decide when her brother gets married if she is going to go out or not. And obviously there's much more about that than what I'm saying. I believe this is a sapphic book as well. Again, I've heard great things about this book. The cover is absolutely gorgeous. I'm so mad that I didn't get on the subscription list for Fairy Loot in time, because the Fairy Loot edition is the best thing I've ever seen. But I now am on the subscription list, which is amazing. But I am really excited for this book, and it should be a quick read because it's not very long. All right, the next book is a book that's been out for a long time. I just never had a copy of that book, and I don't know why I never bought it, but it is Ruth Ware's The Death of Mrs. Westway. So with Ruth Ware, I know that things of hers get better as time goes on. So I'm not expecting this to be her best work ever, but it is the only one I have not read by her, and I would like to have everything read by her by the end of the year, because her new book is coming out, I believe, in maybe September or October. And I would like to have all my Ruth Ware books completed and read to say that I have everything of hers done. I honestly don't know much about this besides that it's a thriller, but I don't like going into thrillers knowing anything, so I have chosen not to know much about this. But yeah, so I need to, sorry, it was a gift. It was a gift by Heidi. So thank you, Heidi, for this book. I almost forgot until that slipped out. So yeah, hopefully I will get to this before the end of the year. So the next one, I am willing to give this author a second chance because I did not like the first book that she published, and that is Rory Power's Burn Our Bodies Down. So I've heard that a lot of people who loved Wilder Girls aren't as in love with this book. So maybe I'll be the other way around. I didn't like Wilder Girls. Maybe I'll like this one more. So this is more of like a mystery, I believe, thriller type book. I know something about having to go back to like a hometown to find out more about like a family. Other than that, I really don't know, because again, I like going to those thrillers, not knowing much about things. But I am excited to give her another chance, because I know that was her debut novel, and I think authors do grow as they have more experience writing. So I am willing to give her another shot. If this doesn't go well, I probably won't pick up another Rory Power book, but if it does go really well, then I will definitely be looking forward to more of her writing. Next book is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager and The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. So I don't know why I'm just getting into the world of Riley Sager, because I've had these two books for a really long time, but I fell in love with his latest book, Home Before Dark. It was a 5-star book for me. I read it super quickly. So I'm excited to dabble in more of his books. I have heard, I believe, that Lock Every Door is a stronger book than this one. Again, I don't know too much about this. I believe it's something about like someone has to watch like apartment set, and there's like really weird rules, like they're not allowed to leave the apartment. This book I know absolutely nothing about. But again, like going to thrillers but not knowing anything, so I'm excited to read more of Riley Sager. So the next one is a thriller that I honestly wasn't very interested in until I joined BookTube, and I've heard people raving about it. And this is No Exit by Taylor Adams. So this sounds like it's about a girl that's coming home from a snowstorm, and she pulls over, and there's another car there, and in the trunk or in the back of the seat, there's like a girl in a cage. Weird. So I am interested to read this because I have heard a lot of good things about it. I don't know more than that, which I feel like is the theme of this video, but I am excited. It's not a huge long read, so it shouldn't be that bad. And I've never read anything by Taylor Adams before, so I'm excited to see what their work is like. All right, the next book is a newly published book. It just came out last week, and that is The Voting Booth by Brandy Colbert. So this is a story of a young girl who's really into making sure everyone votes and to use that right that you have. This is her first election that she will be voting in. And then there is a man that comes, like a young guy that comes, and I think there's something wrong with him not being able to vote. And she goes all around town making sure he's able to vote. It takes place in one day, and then there is a love story, I believe, in this one. I really want to read this one for A, I've heard great things about it, B, it sounds interesting, and C, I think it's such a time to read it with an election year as well, to read an election book. So I do have this on my TBR for this month, so I'm hoping I get to it, but it is kind of a crazy month for me, so we'll see. All right, the next book is also a 2020 release, and that is Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Barron. This is a book that I've heard a lot of mixed things about, but I'm excited to figure out on my own. It is a fantasy book. It is set 200 years after the whole Cinderella story happens, and now it is the rule that every 16-year-old girl has to go to a ball and she has to be picked by a man, and if they don't, they disappear. But our main character here in the story would much rather be in a relationship with her best friend, who is a female. So it is a sapphic book, which I love. So I honestly don't know much more than that, but I am excited to dive into this. I'm going to try and get this done this month, if not hopefully by the end of 2020. All right, so the next one is one, again, I think I'm kind of late to the game on, and I've heard a lot of great things about this one, and this is The House of in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I don't know when this was published. It was published this year. So this book was also published this year as well. It is about a caseworker that is assigned to go to a school with dangerous magical children. Enough right there. Honestly, I know nothing more about that, but the cover is absolutely gorgeous, and that little tidbit has piqued my interest, so I am excited to read this one. And this one, again, is also my TBR for this month, so hopefully I can, take this off my list. The next one is a book that I read 2 of her other books this past month, so I'd like to have all her books read that are currently out by the end of this year. And this book is With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. So this is her second book. This book is more of a traditional novel style versus her 2 other books, The Poet X and Clap When You Land, which are both 5-star books for me. Those are told in verse, so I am excited to see what her writing is like in a more of a traditional novel style. So this is about a single mother who finds her passion in cooking. I'm excited to read this book. The cover is absolutely beautiful. I'm sure it will be another 5-star read because I think her writing is brilliantly done. Okay, so the last book that I would like to get done by 2020 that's been published as of right now is From Blood and Ash. I don't remember the author's name, but I'll put the author's or the book up here so that we can see the author. This was a book that was talked about by Jess on Peace Love Books. It is a fantasy romance. It sounds really, really good. I don't remember much about it, but I heard it's great. The Goodreads scores from what have been coming in since it's been published have been amazing as well. I'm looking to read more fantasy romance. Like I said, I'm kind of starting to get into fantasy, so I am excited to dive into that book. So these are the books as have been published right now, or backlisted books that I would like to get done by 2020. Again, please tell me which ones should I pick over others so I can kind of prioritize what I need to get done by the end. My goal is at the end of the year, the beginning of January of 2021, I'm going to look back on this video and see how successful I was. So let me know down in the comments what I should focus on. Also, let me know which books you would like to have get done by the end of 2020. So if you're new to my channel and you'd like to take this journey with me, please press that subscribe button. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you never want to miss any content that I put out, make sure you press that alert button. And yeah, so stay kind, loves, and I'll see you later. Bye. Special, pretty from the minute that I met you.